This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
See, with S4HANA, we can see the difference with that background user is there, right? WF batch that will going to be changed. Okay, but the design part and whatever the concepts are there, that is same only. So there is no changes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whatever is there, so the same concept will be used. That's it. So there is no like drastic changes only. There are very, very minor changes only. We can say that.
So workflow is not like BW that was extended to BI or to new BW. It's something that remains the same.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So please, you can start. Of course.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
So yeah, you can cross check also SAP training courses also. The same thing will be there, and online help also for SAP workflow for the latest versions also. You can check it. The same content will be there. So there is no changes. There is in S4 HANA there is a workflow user is changing. So that is the only difference. Okay.
Okay. And last question. We will have a problem with a server. We will do in a server that you will provide us a server. What is a scenario, please, if we do this lesson?
Server, right?
Yes, I mean a server to practice, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now see, as part of this training, what we are going to provide. So whatever the training content, what we are discussing, that will be provided, and exercise documents will be provided. So how this course will be like? So I will have the concept, then I will show in the system the exploration. Suppose we are taking about business object builder. So I will explain you the concept, then I will go to the system. I will show you how to explore the standard business objects. After that, we are going to create the custom one. So while creating, I will give the demo. After that, we will give the exercise documents. So that will be provided, and the server is also provided. Okay, you got it right?
Yes, the server will be as valid for during the lessons, or will be for 1 year, for instance. I don't know.
It's not valid for 1 year. So what is the training course that will be? So that what is the initially they have promised, I am not aware. So normally you can expect, suppose we are completing this training by 1.5 months something. Okay, 1 month. So another 1 month they can provide it, that I am sure that. So beyond that it is, I think so, it's not provided.
Okay.
So that part we have to, that part we have to check with the admin team.
Okay, and if we want to rent, for instance, the server all together and we have a discount, we can talk about this, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Raju.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Atin and Varun, do you have any questions? So I have no question
for the moment.
Okay. No. Okay. Thank you. So, okay, see, this is about SAP Business Workflow Training. So, as part of this training, this is the high level course content only. We have not provided at a very detailed level. So, the first starting with, we'll cover with SAP Business Workflow Introduction and Use and Integrate. Suppose, let us take an example of how the SAP Business Workflow is going to work. Suppose you are a user of the SAP purchase order. Suppose if something purchase order value is greater than $1,000, so it wants to go to the next level, your manager, to approve it. Then manager will approve or reject it. So then the purchase order will be released and it will go for the further processing. So to automate this business process, so we can automate this business process using the SAP Business Workflow. And if you see, SAP Business Workflow is a separate component. So it has to be integrated with other business components. Like suppose if you want to use workflow with a sales and distribution module, so you have to integrate with the sales and distribution business process. Suppose if you want to integrate workflow or the business process in the material management, you have to integrate the business process workflow with the material management. That type of integration we have to provide, then only the business process will be automatically run. Like suppose purchase order you created, so it's greater than $1,000, it will automatically send a mail to the approver. He will approve or reject it. The user will receive the means his mail, either it is approved or reject. That kind of automation process we can do it. So that is the basic high level. So for this we need to determine who are the users, how to send the email. These are something again low level discussions we have to cover. So to design and execute this workflow, so we need the users, we need the workflow engine to design it, and we need the business object to execute the business functionality. It's like in this case, purchase order has to be released. So that release function, we have already some code will be there, SAP standard function models. We need to call that function model in the business workflow. So these four individual parts we are integrating with the SAP business workflow. So that is the main use cases. See, of the business workflow. See, whether you are working with the sales and distribution module, or material management, or production planning, whatever modules. So the high level concept is same thing. So the functionality will be different, how you are using, that is only the difference. So I'll start with this workflow, then we'll see architecture. See, but in the architecture we see how what is the building blocks of this workflow engine, and how this is integrated with the other modules, and within the workflow how it is integrated, we'll see everything. Then to design the workflow we need some tool. So that tool here is called the workflow builder. So using workflow builder we can do the workflow engine. Suppose you need how many approvals you need, and you need to design some steps, everything will be done in the workflow builder. We will cover this one. Then workflow definition and workflow template, so these are actually the workflow names. So how we can do this one. And workflow steps, like there are various steps are available, like decision step, and use case, email step, dialogue, background step. These are the various types of steps in workflow. So how we can use them in our workflow, to automate the business process. Then task is there, so workflow task. So this is the where we can integrate our business functionality with the workflows. So we have a background task and dialogue task. So if it is a user interaction is needed, then we'll go for dialogue work process, dialogue task. If there is no user interaction is needed, then we'll go for the background process. Like suppose you need a approval from the approver, then at that time we will design the dialogue task, because user interaction is needed. Next, sending a mail to the initiator of the workflow. At that time no approval is required, so at that time we'll do the background work process. Like this we will design various tasks and integrate with the code, SAP ABAP coding. Next, binding. See, binding is nothing but like how we are mapping the parameters between various components of the workflow engine. Suppose you will take, if you want to call a function module in ABAP program, what you are doing, you are calling the function module, then you are mapping the program variables to the function module parameters, right? Similarly here, if you want to exchange data from workflow to the task, and task to the business object, so you will define the parameters, then you will map it. That's it. That is nothing but the binding. That is how we are doing the binding. So binding will help us to exchange the data between workflow and task and events, like that. Then we'll cover the business object builder, SWO1. So this is a tool where we will use the business object to integrate. So, normally it will contain the methods, business object methods, where the exact functionality will be there. So using this we will integrate the business object and its method in the workflow task to integration, to have to integrate between application and workflow. So that will be cover. And one more thing is, nowadays mostly workflow object builder is not preferable way to integrate the business process. The preferable way to integrate the business process is ABAP classes. So that part we will cover it. So here we'll cover the both the parts, but whenever you have a chance, you go with the ABAP classes in workflow. Then here something is called container and container program. This is part of the SAP business object programming. So how we can read, suppose if you are sending the some data like purchase order details task to the business object builder, so you need to read that data from task container to the object container. So how you will do the container programming? So this is very little bit some different thing, but it is very easy. So how we can read the data, how we can set the container data, that will be covered here. Then events. Okay, so events is again very the starting point of the workflows. See, whatever workflow you want to trigger, there must be a event associated with the workflow. Suppose if you take purchase order created, so here the event is created. Suppose purchase order changed is the event. And suppose purchase order release is the event. So whenever these events are happening in the application side, like if you take mm01 sorry mu21 and mu22 and or mm01 and mm02, so some events will be triggered. Then workflow based upon that thing, the workflow will be configured for the event, then workflow will be started. So all the workflows are started with the reference to a event. So we will do how in events, how to find the events, how to configure the events, and how to design and how to exchange the data between the application program and workflow using the events. Then organizational structure and role resolution. See, now if you are working in a department, you have to configure that who are the approvers and what is your hierarchy. That will be covered as part of the organization structure here. So based upon this we will do. So so and so amount is there, so this is the user responsible, this the user who is on this particular role or head of the manager is responsible. So we will read that user ID to process the workflow or to find the users for the approval or process. So that will be fine. Now here in this step we are integrating the organizational structure with the workflow. That part we will cover here. Next, agents are nothing but the approvers or the people involved in the workflow process. So how we can do different types of agents and how we can determine the SAP agents, we'll cover this one. Next is SAP business workflow. So that is called SAP inbox, SBWP. So now we are designing the workflow. Now where the end user will execute the workflow, here where he will look at the what are the messages or approvals he received. So that in the SAP system he can find out in the SAP business workflow. Suppose if he is the SAP GUI user using, that means he logged in SAP GUI, he can use SAP inbox. Suppose if he is a portal user, he can use universal worklist UWL. So in the portal, like portal, he will get all the messages he will receive. Like it's similarly how our mail working, right? Suppose we have my Outlook mail, so where we will receive the messages in our inbox. Similarly, the responsible will receive all the messages, so he will take the action, particular actions in the SAP inbox. So here they will configure forwarding of that user. They will delegate the delegate, they can delegate to other persons also if they are on leave. So that kind of functionality we can set in the SAP inbox. Next is testing workflow. So normally if the workflow is integrated with the application programs, right? So if suppose in the development, suppose you don't have the test data, but you want to execute your workflow, so you can standalone test the workflows also. There are some transaction codes are there. You can do the dry run of the workflows, or you can provide some inputs to the workflow, you can run it. So sometimes in the production also what will happen, so some purchase order released, so you cannot again replicate that process, but workflow has not triggered. So now you want for that purchase order, you want to release you want to trigger the release workflow. So that is also possible with the workflows. So that will be covered here. So that is one of the production tool. So to manually raise the workflows when the workflow trigger failed in the application level. Next, Workflow system administration tool, SWA tool. This is very important tool. Mostly we are going to check all our workflows and how this is triggered, how this is processed, and how is there any errors, and who are the users are involved, who and where the workflow has stuck. Everything we can do it. So as a workflow administrator, we can forward the work item to a particular user, we can delete it, we can also execute it. All the administrative functionalities of the workflow will be covered as part of this SWIA transaction. So this is a tool to perform all the workflow activities. So normally in production, normally you don't get it if you are not authorized to the workflow administrator, but development side you must need it. So you have to you can check this authorization. Next, work item analysis and error diagnosis. So suppose this will cover. So is there any errors are occurred, how we can perform the analysis, is there any work items is there, how we can check the data in the work item, so what is there, that everything will be covered of this point. Then demo scenario and demo scenario, this I have not given any specific demos because we need to go with the as per the candidates who are joining on the training, that's why I just given. So this is not a fixed one, so we can extend another 2 or 3 also. This is as part of this demo scenarios, we will cover from end to end. So what is happening, suppose if I am working with the SAP Workflow Builder, here you will receive the exercise documents. What is relevant, how you can go work with the Workflow Builder. Suppose using Workflow Builder we can create workflows, right? So that is a small exercise. So how to create a workflow, that will be covered here. Suppose if you are working with the binding, so how to bind the workflow and task, that is one exercise. Now business object, so here how we can create workflow object and methods, that will be covered here. So these are the small exercises which are specific to this concept. So this will take as a building blocks, and finally we are coming with some brand scenarios from end to end, again where we will cover all of these scenarios. So this way we'll go it. Again I'm repeating how the training will go. So we'll have the concept first, then if system exploration thing, then exercises, then demos. So like this the training will progress. Okay, so this is all about this training concerns and what we are going to provide. So with this I have completed, so you can ask me any questions or doubts now.
How long it will take all the lessons, all this content to cover?
See, I have covered with the 30 hours. I need 30 hours because we are not going to, so minimum 30 hours is required. So if you take 1 hour per day, 30 days. Okay, so
days.
maybe so per 1 hour. So because we may sometimes we may join something, will that cancellation will that, right? So you overall you will take 2 months. So within 2 months we will finish it.
Sorry, 30 days you told. 30 days.
30 days.
30 days. Okay.
Yeah, 30 hours. 30 hours.
30 hours. 30 hours. Okay.
30 hours.
Raju, is it possible to complete this within 10 days or 15 days?
Is it possible? But we have to stretch like
Because
2 hours like that. We need to.
We don't have much time actually.
We need to take up like 2 hours like that. We need to take up. That is the thing. Because with 1 hour it is not possible. That I am sure.
Can we learn 2 hours per day? Is it possible to understand and to learn with 2 hours per day? What is your opinion?
See, I think you have already the much vast experience in programming. It is okay, reasonably okay to have 2 hours for learn this course workflow.
Okay. And dear Raju, you have how many years you have experience, please, in workflow?
See, in workflow, like see, if you see workflow development, we cannot find in every project. So some projects we may find it, some projects we may not find it. Okay, So whatever, if suppose one of the project I was purely in workflow development, nearly 10 to 15 workflows I developed. In another project I have not at all worked on the workflows.
Okay, okay. So
See,
you have
that is
experience. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And this scenario will be a basic scenario, or it will be how close to a productive example this will be, this scenario?
See, the productive example is very close. How we are doing the real examples, like suppose if you take like a purchase order or purchase requisition workflow. So the scenario is where you will release the workflow and you will do some configuration, and the scenario means same scenarios, right? The only difference is the workflow levels, like config approval levels and the logic involved. That is only the difference.
Okay. And please, I think exist standard scenarios and
Yeah,
exist custom scenarios.
yeah.
We will learn both of them.
See, in existing standard scenarios, what we will do, if we have already the workflow is there, we will just do the configurations. That's it.
Okay. Yes. 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 Yes.
So
But
suppose we
yes.
have the workflow template. So we'll take the template, and what is the event, we'll find it. Then we will configure it. Just we'll look at the configuration. Then it should work. Everything is okay. Otherwise, we have to do the custom workflows.
Yes, the custom, because I think many times exist a lot of custom, how we can say, implementations in some scenarios.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
mostly we can have custom only. See, the only difference is if a workflow object builder is there, right? In this part, suppose we will not do the custom development business object. Suppose sales order, material, purchase order, purchase request. Already the business object, standard business objects are there. We will reuse this part here, but workflow design part is custom only.
Okay, so you mean we will do an examples with custom scenarios, for instance?
Yeah, custom scenario. Yeah, custom scenario I will cover definitely. I will create a custom business object, add methods, and also custom class. I will create it. I will add the methods. I will show you how we can do this one. So for
And
one
also,
scenario, I will take it.
yes, and
Yeah.
also please, as we will see and debugging, workflow debugging.
Yeah, that will be covered like work item analysis and error analysis. We will take care of that one. So suppose if you have error, how do you do the debugging? See, some of the times you will find, because these workflows are background tasks, so that is very it will kill our time to do the debugging. So I will tell you some techniques how to do that one also. That will part of here. So troubleshooting part, everything will be covered in this work item analysis and error diagnosis.
Okay. Okay. So, Atina, I don't know, and Barun, do you want to ask something?
Yes, Raju. For actually, we're looking for a standard or with the custom, like we have a Z program and a table is inserted with a Z program. We are fetching the data from application table, and how the Z custom table inserted the record by using a workflow trigger. That is, the mail will be go into the SBWP SAP workplace business workplace, and then even similarly the standard transactions like VA01 or MM01, how those configurations, because standard already is the standard business object, standard workflows, everything
Yeah.
already there. We just need to configure up. But to learn up by using the custom workflows, by using custom programs and custom techniques, right? By using function module, how the workflow will be triggered out. So the whole process. And one more thing we need to complete, because we don't have time and we're looking for a job. And is it possible if you can, yeah, for as Matthew communicated, 10 days or 15 days?
So okay, let me ask one question. Are you looking for weekdays training or weekend trainings?
Mm,
Yeah,
Sorry,
weekdays,
I didn't
weekdays,
understand
not
the
weekdays.
question. If we are looking for, please.
Are you looking for weekdays or weekend training?
I think
Like
both.
Saturday?
Monday to Sunday, all 7
I
Ah,
days,
think week. I
full
think
week.
All the week, maybe. If we want to finish early, maybe all the week.
uh-huh.
I don't know.
All the week. Right, right.
Okay. Then what is the timing are you looking? Because I am available in the weekdays only after 10 o'clock in the 10 p.m. IST. That is the reason 9 to 10, so that I can stretch for 2 hours also. 11, 12 also, IST I will look at.
10 p.m.
Yeah,
Indian
like
time.
9:30 to 10. 9:30 you can 9:30 p.m. IST. So from 2 hours we'll take it.
So if we
So
are doing 2 hours, it will be from 9:30 to 11:30 Indian time.
yeah, exactly.
Dear Raju, you will be, you haven't other lessons during the day because this is late, and you will have energy. It will be a problem, for the lessons because it is late, or not.
Yeah, normally I have the energy, so normally we'll take up the classes like that only if thing is, because I have to cover up my working is in the end of the day. So normally I will end up by 6 o'clock my timings, my work office timings. So I have enough time to take some rest, so that I will start it. So we have already some courses we 12:30 also we have done. So that's not a problem. My end, that is not a problem. Otherwise, if in weekdays also we will take it like 2 hours before, like in the afternoon also we'll take it like 3 o'clock to 2 o'clock we'll start it. We can cover 2 to 3 hours also we can cover. So I am very flexible, but the only difference is weekdays 9:30 like that we'll start it.
Weekdays, okay. And so you are working as a workflow developer during the day, and after finishing, you are having the lessons. For instance, you are teaching. You are
Yeah.
working.
See,
Okay.
as I said, I'm in the current project. I don't have very less workflow developments. So
Okay.
if something is there, I will support it. See, even if you go in the projects, okay, you will not find the all. Maybe there are 3 or 4 or 5. If you find 10 workflows in a project, that is a very good project to you as a workflow consultant.
Okay. And you have experience in other fields of SAP,
Yeah.
except workflow, please.
Yeah.
In which, please?
Yeah.
In which
So that
fields you have? Yes.
workflow. See, I worked in sales order module. I worked in material management. I worked in, and this one SAP EWM, enterprise asset management workflows. And one more thing is SAP PPM, portfolio and project module, and SAP finance FI module. I have experience. So
No,
these
no,
areas
Raju,
I have worked in.
Matthew is asking, apart from workflow, have you worked anything else? Like Web Pro, HANA and all, apart from workflow?
Yeah. Okay. The technical thing. Okay. So
The technical, yes. The technical.
okay, WebDrain Pro I have worked it. So except UI5, just I have a little understanding on UI5. So SAP HANA, like data modeling, I did my certification also long back. So now I forgot it. So but I have the idea. So how to do the serious face everything. So all the technical areas I can say I have covered it. So in
And
a SAP EW model also I worked it.
also you have SAP UI5, for instance, also.
Instance I don't have. We need to check with the admin team, so they will provide it.
Yes, you know what, I'm asking this question because I want to know workflow is connecting and with other ABAP tools, or is standalone?
See, normally workflow inbox, we can say whatever SAP inbox is there. If you are looking in SAP Fiori or SAP portal, we have the concept called SAP UWL, Universal Work List. So Universal Work List is nothing but the replica of SAP inbox in the portals. So whatever you have the same functions or whatever you can see in the SAP inbox, in the universal work list also you will see the same thing. That is only the difference. And how you are going to execute, suppose you are executing the purchase order from a Fiori application point of view, right? So instead of SAP GUI, you will have Fiori application, but the backend configurations are same only.
Yes. So workflow maybe in a project in the future, because now we are in a modern tools. We are in S/4HANA. We are exists a case that they will tell us to connect or to have a connection workflow with one of these modern tools, Fiori, SAP UI5, BW. Have we with workflow some interactions with the module with the modern tools?
See, normally as a workflow developer, we will not do that configuration. What our task is, we have to make sure that workflow is configuration is working in the backend. Then we will provide, suppose some task has to be configured, like this task is for approving task, right? So we will provide the task to the respective teams, like Fiori team, SAP Fiori developer. They will, if any configurations is there. See, one of the project, my workflows has to be appeared in the portal, SAP portal, like universal work list. So what I have did it, so I have communicated with the portal guys. So this is the task which is created for this workflow. So you just configure it. So they will take that one, that responsibility. Will not do that one thing. Till now I have not done that part. So that I can say.
Okay, and the connection, for instance, workflow with portal. Which is the tools that are connected? Is methods? Is what are these?
See, these are based upon task only. So so
yes,
yeah, task workflow standard task something is there. We will do that configuration.
Yes, the task, the core of the task is methods.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So can we will discuss together, please, with Atin and Varun to see when we can start. We can start, for instance, as soon as possible with you, or you have an obligation when we can start, for instance.
Okay, let me 1 second.
The next week, for instance, after 5 days, after 10 days. And
yeah, 1 second.
Yes, okay.
1 second. Next week. Yeah, we'll start by 6th onwards. It's not a problem.
6 March.
Yeah, 6 March. So that is Saturday, coming Saturday.
Okay. Okay, and about the payments and all that and the cost, we will discuss with the company, with you or with the company.
Yeah, with the company only. So that
with
part they will take care. Yeah.
Okay, and we can discuss if we can have the discount all together, and also we can have, for instance, for 3 months a server to practice. Maybe.
Yeah. So just have a word with this team, okay, admin team. So they will take it. So if anything, I will also have a talk to them. I will also request them.
Okay, and the server will be only workflow, or it will have and business. We will have data, business data like MM data, SD data, FI data. It will be
Yeah, that is required. Otherwise, I will not accept that instance also, because without that, without that we cannot do anything.
Cannot run. Okay, it cannot run. Okay, and it will be only workflow. It will not be S/4HANA, for instance. It will be only workflow.
No, normally the system version I will recommend is 7.5. Okay, above version, greater than 7.5.
What version, please?
7.5.
7.5. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So that version I will look it. So it's not purely maybe if they are looking for S4 HANA, we need to check that one. What is the version we need? But ABAP version is always 7.5.
Okay, so the server will be a modern server, will be, you know, a server that we find in the market, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Raju, it was
Raju, can we start tomorrow?
one moment.
Tomorrow.
Can you make it tomorrow?
Varun, let's see first and discuss all together, and then.
Okay.
Okay, but
Okay, Matt.
Raju can tell
That's
us.
fine too. We just want to confirm with Raju if he will be available from tomorrow. Is it possible?
Tomorrow, no. At least Wednesday I can start it.
Okay.
From 3rd. Okay, Wednesday onwards. Okay, before that you can just add a complete the formalities with this admin team. Okay, company. So we can start it by okay. From 3rd onwards I can start it anytime.
Okay.
The pay.
Raju, this will be more. Raju, one more thing. This will be more in the practical. You will see. You will because there I can see there are 30 to 40 transactions for SAP workflows, and you will explain each and every by through the practically rather than by because we actually looking for practical SAP transactions how it is how we actually done with the development part with the live scenarios rather than to go with the theoretical part. It's okay, it's fine, it is good. Initially, we can go with the because we need to know what is SWO1, what are the events, what are, but technically have more interest in practical transactions to practical development part.
Yeah, I understand it. But means if I will directly start the end-to-end scenarios, it is going to be difficult. Okay, so as we are learning, so I will start with the basics only. So we will follow the course structure. Okay, then we will speed up it. So in the middle, yeah, you have the convenience. So we are comfortable with this thing. Okay, then see after starting some few classes, you came to know, right? We must be in a sync. Okay, so yeah, we can go speed up, or we need some little spend, or we can change something like that. We can have. So at that time we will go it. But as
Okay,
because
so
it is a one time, I will suggest one time activity, right? You are learning it, so we'll go with the basics, then we will build it. That is my suggestion.
okay. Great, great. And this course will be where you will provide for 15 days, right? So 15 days we can complete this. Fine.
15 days 2 hours.
Actually, we need to learn. Yeah, but
15
we
days
need
2
to
hours.
complete in 15 days.
Yeah, maximum I'll try to
It's
complete
up
in
to
15 days.
how you can stretch up.
Okay, we'll work on that one. No issues.
Okay,
Including the demo
okay.
scenario in 15 days.
Yeah, everything.
Everything. Okay. And also, Raju, we will have connection with you after the lessons because you will be our teacher, and of course we are not disturbing you, but you will be, you know, a contact that you have experience. We have any something to ask you, you know, when we have a job.
Yeah, understand. Yeah, see,
Yeah, we looking for a long-term relationship. Yeah.
Sure.
See,
And
whether technically we're looking for support also in the
yeah,
future.
sure.
We will
Yeah,
be
see,
friends, for instance, like friends. We will
see.
communicate and we will, you know, exchange some knowledge, or you can send us. This will be interesting.
Understand. So
Okay.
understand it. So how the communication will happen? So after these formalities are completed, so this will create one WhatsApp group. Okay, so there we will all members. So we will
Yeah,
chat, or we will have discussion. Suppose if I give the one exercise and you are doing, you are coming with some error. So at that time you will post that one in the chat. I will reply immediately. So that's the way we will do the communication. Okay.
Great, Raju. And about your experience with the system is faithful. We can do, for instance, everyday lessons, or we have problems with the system. Something drops, something is not working, and we will we would postpone some lessons to after one day because the system is not working. With your experience for the moment, the server that you are working on is a faithful server.
Yeah, see, truly speaking, there are two kinds of issues with the system. One is sometimes the user's license has expired. So see, I am connecting weekend class. So just now I going to know lockdown and user expired. License is not working. So at that time we have to stop it, right? So that one kind of scenario. Sometimes systems may down, the server may down. At that time also we have to stop it. So these are the two scenarios we are going to experience. So but normally the mostly the server is available 24/7. Maybe if that is down for something, we will contact them immediately. They will check it, what is the error, why the server is down.
Yes, dear Raju, this is a very important question. We have immediate response from the administrator. So if we have a problem, for instance, and the system appears something, they are responding in 1 hour, in half an hour, in half a day.
Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, actually, the Raju, the concern is why the Matthew is asking for this question. Actually, we don't want any delay or any absence of in the sessions or anything, to get to know, because sometimes the server was not working, or you are available, you are not available, or you don't have the time, and those things, we also taking care of those things. So we need to know whether you are okay and you can start up, and there is no any issue with the server or with the power failure or anything like that, or the network connections you have, everything.
See, from my end, mostly I am taking care any issues. Okay, server end, if something server is not responding, so we will came to know that will let us know that why the server is not working from the admin team.
Yes, and they respond.
But that is very randomly. It's a once in a while. That can happen.
Yeah, that can happen. I'm not I'm not giving under. That's why two scenarios I told you, right? The when we'll have the issues with the server.
And
okay, and so I am understanding your concern. I will ask them specifically. This is the concern. So you will also request them regarding the server concern.
And they respond fast, Raju, from your experience, the administrator.
Yeah, response is fast only, so that is not a problem. So mostly we will not have anything issues, okay, on this server. So
yes.
they will at least give us the reason why. So how much time it will take or something, okay.
So and from your side and from the side of server, maybe if we decide to do the lessons in 15 days, maybe maximum we have a delay for 1 day, for instance, or 2 days. We will have day per day, every day a lesson. We will not have, even from your side, are you?
Yeah, we don't need, actually, we don't have any gap in between. So continuously, we're looking for Raju, for every day. The session must be there.
Do you have a problem with this, Raju? For instance, complete in 15 days, for instance.
Why you are insisting on that point, I can understand. Mostly I'm committed to give the 2 days 2 days class per day, 2 hours class per day.
2 hours class,
so
yes.
in exceptional cases only, okay. That is so I'm not giving like 2 or 3 days, something like that. Okay, suppose if I missed 1 day, so I will try to complete the next day by taking some extra time. That provision we need it.
Okay. So we can originally set a 15 days target, and finally with some delays we can do in 17 days for something like this.
Yeah, something like that. That's it.
Okay. The most important is not to have a lot of gaps between, to have everyday lesson, and we will try not to have gaps. This is the most important.
Yeah. See, that is the most. Okay, some 5% deviation we can accept it. So more than that we will not also.
Yes, we are human, of course, but this is the what we will try to do, not to have.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if we want to ask something else. The earliest that we can start is Wednesday. Let's also discuss all together what is the scenario. The content is this. We will follow this sequence as we see now in our screen.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Atin or Varun, do you have another question? Sorry, something.
As of now.
Okay. The payment. Do you know it is through PayPal, or it is through an Indian account? Do you know your company, how you pay your company?
So I am not aware of that, Matthew. So
Matthew, this will confirm by the institute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Institute will confirm. Yeah, right.
Okay, because we have some problems with Europe. If the PayPal is very fast, the PayPal.
Okay.
If it is an Indian account, you have problems. Because of coronavirus, we have a lot of delays. And the payment you pay, and after normally in India it is 3 or 4 days from Europe. But now
I understand. I faced the similar.
It is 10 days. Now is 10 days. It's not 3 or 4. It is more, and you cannot estimate. Maybe it is more. So, but with PayPal is very fast. It's one action. But with Indian account. But okay, we'll discuss this with your company. It is not.
Okay. So that everything we'll discuss.
Okay, Raju.
Yeah, Varun.
And thank you for your time. It's really great session today. So we will discuss, and we will proceed accordingly. We will let you know.
Something last, dear Varun. Your daily notes, your daily scripts or recordings. When you will deliver after 1 day, for instance.
Normally, because we are doing like late night, right? So instead, people will come on the next day. They will give the link on the next day only.
Okay. Raju, we are not pressing you, eh? We are.
No. See, I understand the concerns and things. So whatever the questions you ask me, those are valid questions, and we are responsible for that, answering those things.
We will be friends. We will communicate honestly. Honestly, this is the most important. We count on you. You count on us. It will be a dual, if you can say, communication, and this.
Yeah, sure, Matthew. Yeah, we'll continue our relationship. It's a starting only, I can say.
Okay, so we will communicate with you.
Okay.
The details when you can start. And
sure.
And when will be the lessons? I think if it is easy for you to be 9:30, 11:30, I don't know for the guys, because also someone, I don't know who will start the job. I don't know if we can start, because we are looking, and maybe during the 15 days maybe you can start. So it is more secure to have this 9:30, 11:30 Indian. But we will see, of course, we will see. Yes.
Okay.
So that's all.
Okay, Raju. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Varun. Thank you, Martin. Yeah.
Thank you, Raju.
Thank you, Raju.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yeah, Durga. So we're left in the meeting. Thank you, Durga. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Durga.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.